From complaints to permits to results. Join Audit and Miriam every Thursday. This is Double Degraded.
Welcome to Double Degraded with AuditLA and Miriam. Double the truth, double the trouble. Welcome to Double Degraded with AuditLA and Miriam. Your weekly report, the story stated, shining a light.
Hi everyone, welcome to Double Degraded, episode 2. My name is Miriam. My channel is Scientology Up North, and this is my co-host, AuditLA.
Hi everyone.
On her channel, AuditLA. How are you?
I'm doing good. How about yourself?
I'm doing good. So
It's hot here though. It's very, very hot.
yeah,
We're having a
it's
massive heat wave.
yeah, it's quite hot also over here to the temperatures that we are normally getting over here. So it's the difference between the minus degrees that we get here to the plus degrees. It's a huge range of different temperatures, and our Nordic bodies are not used to the heat at all.
Dang.
Yeah.
We're used to heat, but it's like 100, I think. So it's a little hot.
At that point we melt. There's nothing left of us over here anymore. And
But I
we have-
digress.
yeah, we have the ice as well. So how did that chat come up on the screen? I don't know what happened there. Never mind. I think someone is maybe clicking something in the back, but anyways, I wanted to, or we both wanted to say something to start with. Maybe I'll just start and you finish as you wish.
Okay.
But I saw today that a video has been published on YouTube that, in my and our opinion, should never be published online. And it seems to be that the pure purpose of this video is to destroy someone's mental health, their character, put them in a very bad light in the worst moment of their life. And I just want to, from my side, say that I do not accept it. And I fully stand behind Lindsay. And I'm almost speechless because I saw a glimpse of it, and I wish I hadn't at this point. So I just want to say that I'm in full support of Lindsay, and I think this platform was originally built in to do something good and not to try and destroy people. That's about
Yes.
it, I have to say.
I agree. I mean, I stand by Lindsay too, and I agree. The original intent, I hope, would be to help. I believe in the original intent of both the channel and the foundation. I would like to believe that it was all for good purposes, but whatever is going on, it's gone too far, and to the point where it's dangerous. It's dangerous mentally. It's dangerous for a lot of different reasons. And I don't want to get into the whole, like, what I feel about all the different ins and outs, because I could spend hours talking about this. I will just say I did not and will not watch it. I will not give, I just turned it on not realizing exactly that it was that, because I know another person wants to show it as well. And so it almost feels like, oh, I'm going, one has to beat the other to it. And I don't understand that kind of energy to harm. It is not a self-defense measure. And like, if somebody feels that they're the victim of anything, this is not the proper place to go. Go to the proper places for that. But this is mentally scarring, not only for Lindsay, but there's a lot of women who have endured a lot of things. And it's hard for, I think, a lot of people, or not even just women, but anyone who's dealt with any kind of crisis or moments like that. It's not fair to do that as, in my opinion, retaliation.
Absolutely.
And that's all,
Yeah. So we of course we support all women, but no one should be abused in this manner, and their private lives and the worst moments in their life should not be displayed for
not our
others.
business.
No, absolutely not for revenge or not for entertainment, whatever it
Right.
is.
And it's not
So
newsworthy. It's absolutely not our business. And I hope the community will join us in not watching it and not giving any energy to it. Like, no, don't watch it. Don't, it's just walk away from it. And if the other person does it as well, this is not the kind of
absolutely,
stuff that anyone should be doing.
absolutely, absolutely. So should we move on to our topics of the day?
Of course.
Yes. So I have made a PowerPoint slides, which I realized that I couldn't directly play PowerPoint, so I have now just uploaded it on the platform. So I hope we can go through it this way and then move between the different slides. And I hope I got them in the right order. If not, then we might
It's
have to
okay.
go back and forth. You look lovely, by the way, today. I didn't
Oh,
realize the hair has gotten that long.
I need to chop it. Like, I want to, it's too long, but
Oh,
thank you. And you look lovely too.
thank you.
And but yeah, this is because they both that they just yeah, like, so when I write to them, this was a response to my email updating them yet again on the abuses of Scientology and their permits.
Mm-hmm.
And so this was the one regarding, I have one that's for like the Easter one and then one for the Colombian one. Like on the Colombian one, they actually tell us that they are they are pursuing against the company that applied for it, which is not
Yeah.
Scientology, even though it was a Scientology event for sure, you could tell.
Mm.
But I did update them that, hey, like, like Scientology is very involved, but they're going, I believe, to citation. They cited the company that applied, and they're assuming that they're the ones that put on that Colombian festival. But this is for the Easter one. This is just, them telling me, I've gotten several of these emails, and because they're like, yeah, like, yeah, thank you for your, advocacy, blah, 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 but then on the page 2 is where they continue to reiterate every time they keep sending me the rules, which I
Mm.
wish they would, instead, I know the rules, and I thank you, Spirit Street Services for keep reminding me of the rules. I already know them, but I wish you would send this to LAPD because they're the
Yeah.
ones who respond to these and they don't know the rules. They are so confused because Jennifer, who knows the rules, will show them a
Mm.
paper saying, but we have it says, look, sidewalk closed. And the cops are like, yeah, it does say that. Everything else is, that's it. It says closed. Deal with
Mm.
it Monday, And so they need to get this stuff out to LAPD, or LAPD can also reach out to them and say, hey, we keep having this issue where our people keep having to show up to the same location. What's the deal? Either way.
Mm. Mm.
But
So is this one, do you recall, is this one from this March or is this from a prior
this is from
year?
this March. So this is from the Easter. They just started doing this where they get in touch with me every time like this. Like, we're
Okay.
here to, thank you for your whatever, but here's the rules. And so page 2 of this is really, I just put it so you could see that it did come from StreetsLA
Yeah,
ERT. That was
exactly.
for page 1, but this is the page 2. That's the important one.
Mm-hmm.
The highlights mine. They didn't highlight it. I highlighted it. And I did print both things out. So I'm taking everything that we're showing today. I have it now on like a laminated and on a lanyard to take to the events. So I could just, take it off and hand it to the cop and say, read through this. And if they still do the wrong way, then that's, I don't know, maybe time to file a complaint. But at least I'm going to bring the education with me this time, and where I don't have to, hold it, because it's kind of hard. You have to drive with one hand, everywhere I go, and then I have to have my camera in the other hand. So that means I either have to have the permit in my teeth, or
Mm-hmm.
But so we figured out the lanyard, and it's plastic
Yeah.
coated, so it's going to be good. But see, number 1, right? This is what they wanted, to let me know. I can't read it as good. Do you want to read it? The number 1, the rules well, why don't we
Yes.
read? I would like to read the whole thing. Can you read the whole thing? So
Yeah, I
I
can
forgot
read
my
the whole
glasses.
thing with my ugly Finnish accent. I will.
I love your accent. See, that's the reason. That's the real reason, people, that I'm asking her to read it, because I love the accents, these European accents. So
Yeah, but first of all, I just want to say it's amazing this fact that you have got them now laminated and you got them around your neck because you have difficulties to move a lot of things with you while you're out and about. So you have it, and you have it from the correct department. You can show it to LAPD, and basically between the lines they can read up yours, because it says there
Yep.
the requirements. I will read it now. We will continue to require that all conditions and requirements be upheld for any request to close down L. Ron Hubbard Way. The specific conditions mandated for these closures include, and this first one is the most important, both sidewalks are to be open and accessible to the public, and signs are to be posted on the sidewalks explicitly stating that the sidewalk is open to the public. So this is something that is that is confusing for the LAPD, that basically they can have a permit for the full street and the sidewalks. However, that doesn't mean that they can stop the public using the sidewalk for moving
Right.
from place A to B.
Because they control the use of it, right? They get to say,
Mhm.
oh, we're having a fair, so we need to use the sidewalk to hook up the electricity across the
Mhm.
the sidewalk, or we need whatever, so they have that
Mhm.
right. The only thing is, and we'll learn more in a different one, why they can't. They can't deny it's public property. So the rules, it's not the same as private property, and that's what Scientology wants. They think and they want
Mhm.
a permit to turn public property into private property, and it absolutely does not. Because, like,
Yeah.
remember when we got the Father's Day permit, right? That
Yeah.
was what they told me. Like, you can have control. We can have our little, concert on the sidewalk. We can control the sidewalks, but we can't
Mhm.
prevent. We had to keep enough space for the public and for Scientologists, everyone to pass through, and we can because one of the things that the lawyer, future one, it doesn't really mention, which I wish it had, but it's called viewpoint discrimination. So if we have control of
Mhm.
the sidewalk and it's a public sidewalk, I can't say, well, you're a Scientologist, you can't come on this sidewalk because we're protesting Scientology. That would be viewpoint discrimination. I'd be discriminating against
Exactly.
people because of their beliefs. The same
Mm.
goes for them when they have these permits and they're trying to close the sidewalk. One of the reasons they're closing the sidewalk is to prevent people who criticize or are not, in line with Scientology. So it's
Mhm.
viewpoint discrimination, which is illegal. And so I
Exactly.
wish that they, you'll see, but there's other things that they didn't mention, and we'll talk about that when we get there. But I
Yeah.
just wanted to make that point.
Yes, I only got to the first point. The second one is that the closures can only occur from Friday to Monday, and all public right-of-way obstructions must be removed when the permit is inactive. And this was something that was not really upheld before, because they sometimes started on a Thursday also. Isn't that correct?
Well,
Or
they
they,
used to have it. Well, see, this is a condition that is only for Scientology. Okay,
uh-huh.
it's because they gave them stricter because of all the problems that they've created. They kind of put them on a restriction. Okay, if we're going to give you
Mhm.
permits, you're not going. There's no longer going to be, because they would get them for week after. They would do it as, and that was that was like the thing I pushed, by allowing them to get week-long permits, week after week after week. They are
Mhm.
creating a de facto street vacation. And a street vacation means, that's why we're going through that in Florida, right? It's where they sell or they give up the public right away to an
Mhm.
entity. So the city has not done that. They haven't even applied for it, but they were already told that the city won't support that. But so they're
Mhm.
creating a de facto, which means like a fake, or it works the same way, right? Because it creates like a private, like a vacated street, by
Yeah,
keeping it shut
exactly.
down. And so
Exactly.
and maybe next week or some other time, I could show you all the permits for the past few,
Mhm.
years, that it shows you that week after week, if the whole week. So when
Mm.
I made that point, I'm assuming they probably took it to the city attorney or
Yeah.
to their risk management and said, okay, she's saying it, and they are saying, yes, that does create a de facto street vacation. And so to
Mhm.
eliminate that, which is wise on the city's part to create, they're breaking it up. Okay, you can only get weekends. They did
Yes.
make one exception for Halloween because they
Mhm.
already had the permit. But other than that, no, they've been giving that. The city has been strict with that.
Yeah, That's
which
great.
is good. So no more de facto street vacations.
Good. As resources allow, our department may inspect one or all of the events. And this is something at least I know several other people have been calling out for in the Board of Public Works meetings, that go and have a look how it's done
Yes.
over there.
And it's not going to
And
happen. They don't have the resources. That's the problem. It says if resources, there aren't resources or personnel. I was
Yeah.
told that personally.
Yeah. And especially in the weekends, it's most likely
And
very
holiday
difficult.
weekends. Yeah.
Exactly. But on the other hand, how much does LAPD use their resources, to actually try to supervise something that they don't really have the know-how for, and they always come there with various different opinions. I would think that an inspector going through different events and checking on them would be much more economical solution than having LAPD called out there potentially several times.
I think the problem is that they don't have the personnel to do it. So if you have, say, it would be, I think it falls on Timo, Giannis, and maybe one other person, then they don't get a day off, maybe, or they may not approve the overtime. So I don't know what the actual details behind the scenes are. I don't know if they can force them to work. I don't know. So they do need more personnel. But I'm like, then if you can't go do it, and you know that the enforcement is going to fall on LAPD, and you know that Scientology has been excellent for the couple years that we've been watching at getting at the police to see it their way. So then they should be working harder to get LAPD up to speed on this. So they come and they would just open it up, period.
Yes.
Or I also suggested to StreetsLA to stop giving them the sidewalk closures. If they're going to give, I asked them to give them no permits, but if they're going to, I said, then don't give them the sidewalk closures unless you can be there to monitor, because that's what's confusing the police, right? And it would confuse me too. It did confuse me till I really looked into it. You're saying, oh, the sidewalk's closed, but you have to let pedestrians in, but it's closed. That doesn't make sense. So I understand the police, LAPD's confusion on that. So stop giving them sidewalk closures. Just say no more sidewalk closures. It's going to be street only if we give you any at all at this point.
Yeah.
That would stop that, because then they would not have anything in writing saying, look, it says the sidewalk's closed, unless they make it up and they write, they take an old permit or something, which I would not put past them.
Yeah. Yes. In addition to notifying the community through the petition requirement, flyers will be distributed to the surrounding community extending 500 feet from the closure, no less than 10 days before the event. And I understood that this was first time upheld during the last event. Am I correct?
4th of July, yes, according to neighbors, the 4th of July one was the first time they ever got noticed. And so I think they're trying hard to figure out what they can do to kind of say, look, we're trying. I don't know, you know what I mean? But that's, I do care about that rule. I mean, it's important, but it's not as important as rule number 1, so they're picking and choosing, but they finally did do that. And I think they think that that's going to give them some, I don't know.
Yeah.
Like we're, you know what I mean? Like excuse or something, but
you're doing half a step forward while still, taking 100 backwards. So I don't know how much impact that has.
Well, they might be scared because remember the month prior, they were part of a festival that did not have a permit at all. So they may be concerned about pending is something happening from the city for that. So they're trying to get things better.
Exactly. And then the last one is that the flyers to be distributed need to contain the event's contact information, the location of the event, the duration of the event, and our direct contact information. So it's quite clear instructions here why Scientology hasn't upheld to this agreement, which I actually yesterday, when we called the Board of Public Works, I said it is equivalent of a contract, in my opinion, because they are making an application. The city is approving it. I would call it a contract at that point.
Absolutely.
They are
And they break it every time.
Mm,
Mhm.
yes. So, okay. This is the same one. I don't know why I have it twice here.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's the same. And this one's just them. They always say, like, yada yada. I should have. I forgot to give the one where it does say they're going to go after the one who applied for the permit that wasn't granted. But I'm
Uh-huh.
like, that's, and go for it. They should, but I have a feeling that company is going to say, hey, that was a Scientology event. They used, like, I would like to see what comes of
Mm,
that,
yeah.
because they're going to be upset if they're being charged for it and it was Scientology that maybe asked them to sign up, or what, we have no
Yeah.
idea whether or not that company actually put it on. But I did
Yeah.
see Dianetics, I did see Vulture
Mm,
Ministers, I saw Scientologists all over the place. And we all know, anyone with the brain knows that they're not going to allow anything to shut down that street, let alone they don't even want
mm.
people walking on that street. That would never happen without, they would have been calling the police. They would have been, there's no way they would allow that. So,
Yeah, absolutely. So I just want to give a little bit of background in this moment, because of course I'm not sure if there's some new audience. So we are talking about maybe I should have done this to start with, but better late than never. We are talking about Scientology abusing the Los Angeles City street permit system and not upholding to the rules regarding the different event permits they get. And they like to arrange a lot of events on L. Ron Hubbard Way in order to actually keep any kind of Scientology critics away from the buildings, the L. Ron Hubbard Way that is leading to the Blue Building. And on top of that, we found out that they had an event in the beginning of May, wasn't it? I think it was.
so it's the 22nd to the 24th of May.
Yeah. So 22nd to the 24th of May, there was an event on L. Ron Hubbard Way, and the permit for this event was actually not approved. AuditLA was present on L. Ron Hubbard Way, called the LAPD. At that point, they gave some kind of permit, which we are not really aware of what kind of documentation they showed, because the permit was not approved. And that was because the applicant was not the cult of Scientology. It was an external operator that Scientology had most likely asked to keep this event. And they are not allowed to take over a full street on L. Ron Hubbard Way due to the ownership regulations that you are supposed to have the majority. I think you're supposed to have the majority ownership, the property ownership on the street. So they were never actually would have been able to get the permit. And Scientology might use a loophole here, saying that this was not our event. However, all the preparations for the event were basically made by Scientology. They were having Dianetic stands on L. Ron Hubbard Way. They were offering stress tests. So, and when the police was called hold on a second here. I will just add you back on. I don't know what happened there. Oh, now you're muted. I don't know what's going on. AuditLA is twice in the background right now. Let's see. We're having some technical difficulties. Let's see what's going to happen, if she's going to return momentarily. But that's basically the background. And what we are trying to do is to show the city of LA that Scientology keeps on continuously failing on these street permit requirements and breaking the rules that are actually written on the permit itself. And we actually have some documentation that they are aware of these conditions, and they have even double, triple confirmed it. I just want to say hello to my dear friend that just showed up in the chat a little while ago. I think I saw Samuel in the background here. Good evening, darlings. Thank you Thank you, Samuel. Thank you very much. Just wanted to say hi in case you're not staying until the end of the show. And I haven't seen you for a while. Thank you very much for coming up and checking out our new show. Let's see what's gonna happen here. I think I will just kick AuditLA out from the studio so she can return. And I'll just send her a message to rejoin. And we'll move forward here. Oh, this is very small. Let me go on my spreadsheet here so I can read it for you. I'm not sure if you guys can read it. So there's a notice. She's not back yet. The closure, when granted, will be for the exclusion of vehicles only. The public at large may not be denied access to any portion of any street except in cases of emergency. A 20-foot emergency lane shall be provided on all streets within the said closure at all times. And this is something. We lost you there for a moment. Welcome
I know.
back.
It's back. It was just like where it's like going around and round and round. So Haggis gave me
Yeah.
directions, and I think I was able to. I don't know StreamYard yet, so forgive me, guys. Be patient with me. So if something goes wrong, I don't know how to fix it. This is a learning curve for me. I'm used to just doing everything on YouTube, so forgive me. But yeah, this is
Yeah.
page 2 of all permits, not just theirs, the entire city. So
Yeah.
any entity, this is the page 2 for special event permits, I should say.
Yeah. And I was just reading regarding that the exclusion when granted this event permit is only for vehicles, and there should be a 20-foot emergency lane. And this has been a point of contention several times already, because even the fire department has been there and they have not deemed it unacceptable, as far as I've understood.
Yes, they keep saying that it is like they have this zigzag configuration, and that's okay because they said, oh, we can technically get through. This is one battalion chief. I'm working on the actual new chief to say that is not acceptable. So, I mean, we haven't won that battle yet, but we're still, pushing through. That's why we need to go. They keep changing the times of the fire commission meeting, but we can put in, we gave the address, how for everyone can write to the fire commission and demand that they keep that open, that 20-foot open lane from front through the whole entire street needs to be maintained, and not to accept that, some zigzag pattern, because that would slow it down. And the battalion chief said, well, anything could be slowed down. It's like, I don't want you on purpose slowed down. So Scientology, like if I'm in that building, I don't want it help to be slowed down because Scientology doesn't like critics. Like, give me a break. No, that's unacceptable.
Exactly. And in case of an actual emergency, a fire, I would not accept anything else than a straight 20-foot wide access to the entire street. So if there is a real emergency, the fire department is able to provide help immediately instead of doing some kind of zigzag over there. Completely unacceptable. I don't understand that any kind of LAFD personnel would accept that.
And it's like one time they went through. How do we know they didn't widen it because they knew they were coming? You know what I mean? It's not like every time they come out and check to see if the measurements are correct that they could zigzag through it also. And these are cement blockades. They're heavy cement. They have to use it with a forklift to move it. So it's unacceptable. And if, and here we're also earthquake prone. I believe that buildings also has gas lines. I mean, there could be any kind of an emergency. And if people, died or, or anything like that, or harmed and they couldn't get rescued because of Scientology once it closed to, because they don't like critics, the city's holding, the city's going to be liable. And that's the main thing I'm trying to get to the city It's
Mhm.
you guys are leaving the city liable by catering to Scientology. And Scientology does not have the city's best interest at heart. It has its own best interest at heart.
Mhm.
And so that's the battle.
Yeah. So I'm just gonna add it here in the comments or in the chat, the email address where you can send a comment to LAFD. I will just show it here on the screen as well.
Good.
So this is the
Okay.
LAFD Fire Commission, and you can write a written comment. You can refer to the prior events that have been had over there. You can even take a screenshot from AuditLA's videos where it's clearly visible that there is no fire lane. And the more people we have actually contacting the fire commission, the more impact, our complaints will also have.
I
And
agree.
you are able to, you're able to email from anywhere in the world. The proof
Yes.
is online.
And they meet twice a month. And they're very, like, so far, I mean, they have a new chief, they have a new commission for the most part. I like this chief. He listens, he's very nice. I see him up, he'll always say hi. So I think he's somebody we can, I like the previous chief too. She was very nice. It's some of these battalion chiefs who personally, because what happens is Scientology safe points the fire departments by, say after the wildfires, right? They offered this huge celebration for them, thanking them, bringing them in. It's a media event for Scientology, but for LAFD, they're getting all this recognition. It's hard then to turn around and then be the saying no, you're breaking the rules. So it's very effective what Scientology does to safe point the fire department. It's effective on the police department too. That's another discussion, but we got to keep pushing through it, because if we're a louder, more annoying voice, then maybe they'll listen.
Yeah,
That's the goal.
Exactly. So thank you already in advance to anyone who will get in touch with LAFD Fire Commission via this email, and you can just go to any recording that AuditLA has on her channel. If one of my lovely moderators could just put her channel in case you're watching on mine, then you can find documentation there for the missing fire lane. Then we actually get into something a little bit interesting over here.
Yeah, this is a good one.
Yeah, I will just read it from my
Thanks.
PowerPoint here, because even I can't see it on the screen here. But basically, this is an email sent from the city attorney to Jennifer Krakow. So basically, what is her title? Are you aware? Is she?
I believe it's legal officer or legal officer or something like that. And so this takes away all of her plausible deniability, right? She's like, but it says the sidewalk's closed. And the cops are like, yeah, we'll figure, you guys figure it out next week. So this is going to eliminate her ability to say that. But see, it needs to get out there. All right, go ahead.
Yeah. So this is already from January 2024. And you have to think how many events there has already been on L. Ron Hubbard Way since January 2024. That's how many? My math is not mathing right now. That's like year and a half.
Two and a half. Almost.
2.5.
Yeah, 2.5 years.
2.5 years.
Yep.
Yes. So this is from the city attorney to Jennifer, and it says, Miss Krakow, I am in receipt of your email. I am not in a position to give legal advice to the church cult of Scientology, because I am counsel to the city of Los Angeles, including its Department of Public Works, Bureau of Street Services. I understand that you have asked the Bureau about excluding members of public, including possible demonstrators or unpermitted protesters, from a special event for which your organization has secured a permit for the event to take place in the public right-of-way. To the extent there may be trespass enforcement associated with private property, or other enforcement rights associated with right of entry to private property. That same enforcement does not exist in the public right of way or areas open to the public. I just want to pause at this moment because I actually recall StreetsLA, William Gude. There was I can't remember which event it was, but I think it was in the spring 24, where he actually did just go in his own right onto the streets despite of the blockades over there, and there was no consequences for him for that.
Right.
But it was just a huge physical barrier and very threatening behavior from their armed security that was kind of, just brought there to scare any protester
Well,
away.
back then they still had LAPD as their third-party security off-duty officers too. That finally ended. I don't know at what point, if it was before or after that event, but it was all the pressure that all of us have been putting on them that they finally said it's too much of a risk that they will no longer supply overtime officers for any of their events, except for Film LA because it's required, their film permits. But so even back then, Jennifer knew she had this from January 2024.
Yes.
And that's before
Yes.
the encampment even.
Yes, and if I recall, there was even like some, nearly violent altercations between people who were trying to enter the area. So it was, it was very intense time. But I'll just keep on reading this. I just need to find where I was. So the special events permit application makes clear that the public must still be able to access the street, except for emergencies. So if there would be some kind of situation, let's say with a fire or something, where they would have to restrict the access of the public.
And I want to jump in there legally, when you look at street, because I did a deep dive on this, that includes the sidewalks because, so it's not, it is the street, but at the same time, street will include sidewalks. So that would include the sidewalk permits. From what I understand, I'm not a lawyer, but doing my research, it's more, it's the entire area.
Yeah, but it means that there should have to be an emergency situation to restrict access.
That's the only one, right? Like the LAPD can't come and say this is an emergency, like say if there's a riot or whatever, or anything, that yes, they can stop for emergency only, not for just viewpoint discrimination or just because we want to.
Yeah, so it would not be just to specific individuals. It would have to be a larger issue at that in that case. It is for the permittee to restrict the use of the closed public street to the specific purpose of which the closure is approved, and for complying with all terms and conditions of the permit. With respect to concerns for protesters, if it is an unpermitted demonstration, then the church cult could attempt to engage LAPD, but barring others legal violations and subject to the enforcement discretion in LAPD, there is no way to issue a prior restraint.
Can we stop right there? See,
Yes.
Prior restraint is very important, and that's the legal principle. Like I wish they did the viewpoint discrimination, but the other very important one is prior restraint. And prior restraint really deals with the police. It's not something that, that really Scientology can be really accused of, from my understanding, but LAPD can. And so it's a city given permit. So for the city to say, yes, you can, close it off to pedestrians, that's you're restraining before it's a prior restraint, because they're saying something bad's going to happen. These people are going to do something bad. So you're trying to restrain them prior to anything happening. So what she's saying is, no, if something happens, you have the same access to LAPD, you call them, they handle it. Your security can handle it. But you can't prevent people from coming just because you can't restrain them because you're assuming something's going to happen. So that's a really important legal concept right there, prior restraint. And that's why, like, cops, they can't put a flashlight in your like, if you're media and you're filming them and they're putting a flashlight in your camera so you can't film, that's prior restraint. You can sue the city for that. You can't restrain somebody, like, whatever, because you don't want them to post film on their YouTube later or whatever. So, but that, I just wanted to touch on that.
Yeah. Note, however, that enforcement may also exist for a violation of LAMC 41.20 related to interference with the progress or orderly conduct of the event, or to participate in the event without the consent or over the objections of the permittee. That's, yeah.
Well, I mean, like, right. If they don't have to let us, they don't have to let the people join. They don't have to let us attend, right? But you just have to let us through. And if we go through and we're now, see, the one without the permit, you could basically do anything. They didn't have a permit, but they could, I guess, if we're disturbing the peace or committing a crime, if anyone is, they could call the police and the police will deal with it like anything else.
Yeah, exactly. Enforcement would depend on the specific legal violations at issue, of course. I do not know whether you have consulted with LAPD as to whether they have any additional input or support they can provide beyond responding to any legal violations reported to or observed by them. To the extent you employ additional or private security, you may consider and consult with any such private contractors as to their recommendations of use and control of the space consistent with the terms of the special event permit. Thank you. And it's signed by Miss Adena Hopenstand.
She's my favorite. I miss Adena. She used to be the city attorney, one of the ones that deals with the Public Works Commission. It used to be a lot of fun arguing with her about whether or not I'm on topic or not. But I have a lot of respect for her because, like, especially with this, she stood up and followed the law and let them know what the law is. She didn't cave in or try to sugarcoat it or anything. Or I wish I could. No, she said the law. I have a lot of respect for her. She got promoted to the airport commission, and I wish her well. I wouldn't mind seeing her as city attorney someday.
Yeah.
That's just my own personal plug.
Yeah. So this was also forwarded by this Timo Lanes, who is he's some kind of police officer, right?
Well, Timo Yanis, he is the lieutenant for the IED, which is the something enforcement division. He's like the police. It's the StreetsLA, the public works, their enforcement division for like the permits and stuff like that. So he's a lieutenant, but it's not LAPD. It's the enforcement division of Streets LA. I don't know what all he does, but I know he's in charge of enforcing. He also, I believe, is the one who gives or doesn't give. Like, he's the final say, I think, on the permit part, but he's the one who is to enforce it. He's the law enforcement for those permits.
Yes.
And he has chiefs. There's chiefs as well. There's a new chief, that Chief Rodriguez retired. Now there's a new chief, Cessna. So there is like a police-like structure to it.
Yes. So that was a double. Apparently, I have somehow managed to copy some of these sheets, so there are duplicates here.
And I think this is from our friend Lieutenant Timo Yanis. He's a nice guy. Like, he's the one who was trying to mediate at the Father's Day event because Scientology was wanting them to get rid of ours so they could have theirs, and he held a Zoom meeting because I said I'm willing to talk to them, but Susanna and Jennifer never showed up. But he tries to remain neutral. I believe he does. Like, I don't think he's a bad guy. I think he's just kind of stuck with all the stickiness of politics and, and all the rules and everything. But
yeah,
we just keep pushing.
Yeah, and this is regarding the Day of the Dead festival. It's sent to Rose Tingleburg, who is also a Scientology official of some sort. I think you found her title somewhere now.
She used to be with the CCHR. She's very, I think she's elderly. She's so I don't know why, but she was handling some of the permit stuff for a while. So I don't know if it's because OSA was not happy with Jennifer's, because things were not going their way. So they thought they could bring in Rose. And as you can see here, it doesn't go her way either.
Yeah, and she is a program manager at the Cult of Scientology, whatever that means. The titles
who
are
knows?
always hard to understand. But yeah, this email is from Timo to Rose, and it says, "Hi, Rose Tingleburg. After a thorough review, our department has determined that certain restrictions and conditions must be imposed on this permit, and all future permit requests for the area being requested in this permit. These conditions are of the utmost importance and must be adhered to. Number 1, both sidewalks are to be open and accessible to the public, and signs are to be posted on the sidewalk stating that the sidewalk is open to the public." Now, what was the reality in this case on the Day of the Dead festival? Can you recall?
The Day of the Dead. I think this was like because we've been pushing really hard, and we also had there was also things going through the civilian grand jury, which I want to discuss next week, hopefully. But I think the pressure came up when it came to different risks, like the risk factors, and they went, going through the city attorney and stuff, that they realized they need to get a hold on it because all the pressure we were giving and all it was rattling cages all the way up. And I've been told several times, like, this stuff has gotten the attention to the very highest echelons of these things. And I think this is one of those moments. I don't know exactly what set it off, but this is where they said, okay, we're going to make some changes to help mitigate their risk. But by not enforcing these, they are not mitigating their risk. It's not enough to put it on paper. They have to enforce it.
So let me see. I need to read on the other slide. The age is catching me up slowly with my eyesight. Number 2, the closures can only occur from Friday to Monday, and all public right-of-way obstructions must be removed when the permit is inactive. Number 3.
They don't do that either.
Yeah. As resources allow, our department may inspect one or all of the events. So that never happens. Number 4, in addition to notifying through the petition requirement, flyers will be distributed to the surrounding community extending 500 feet from the closure, no less than 10 days before the event.
Yeah, when was that date? It finally happened on the 4th of July, 2026.
Yeah. So that was, that was more than a year and a half later. So that's at least, I guess, some sort of victory, if we would like to think it. And again, it instructs to add the address of the Bureau of Street Services and the contact number via telephone for the people living close by the community to be able to contact if they have issues. And then it states, because of the changes mentioned above, your permit has to be amended. Your request for the use of LRH Way between Sunset Boulevard and Fountain Avenue from this and this day can move forward, but the days and the hours of the request have to fall within the mentioned parameters, and the additional requirements have to be met.
See, I like this one. It's really a duplicate almost of the other one, where this spells all the rules. But this one, and the reason why I put it in my little packet to show the police is because at the beginning, it's clearly states it's not only for that permit year and a half, 2 years ago, it is ongoing for all future permits. So they cannot say,
Yes.
well, this one's an exception. No, that clearly states all future ones will,
Yes.
So that's why I like that one.
Yes, absolutely. And this is now, I think, an earlier email. In Scientology, they say earlier similar. So we're going to look at an earlier similar because
I think you
it's
have to
an
start from the
email.
bottom. I think this one is best to start from the bottom half because
Yes,
when you get a
absolutely.
CPRA request, it's backwards.
Yeah. So it's Jennifer Krauskopf sending an email to the Bureau of Street Services. It's Friday, February 2nd, 2024, and it's saying, hello, any further information on this issue? It seems that the simplest solution would be to remove the two sentences of which state the closure, when granted, will be for the exclusion of vehicles only. The public at large may not be denied access to any portion or of any street except in case of emergency. If that could be removed, it would eliminate confusion for those enforcing it. Jennifer K.
She's still under the impression, or wants to pretend that she's under the impression that it's not just vehicles, honey. It's pedestrians, and no, but
It will
she
remove
tried.
all the
God bless her for
confusion.
trying.
Yeah, let's just remove any kind of text that is allowing pedestrians on the sidewalk, and we're
Yep.
all good for blocking them.
Anything they don't like, let's have the city remove it just for them. Why don't we talk about ego? And it's just so crazy. But
Okay. Yeah. I just want to say that the secret Asian man who just got I will just remove your comment, but we are not supporting any kind of domestic abuse. And if you want to hear our statement, it's in the start of this live. So please move there. Okay, so let's go to the answer of the Bureau of Street Services. So it's our friend Timo sending a mail to Jennifer. Hi, Jennifer. I did hear back from our city attorney representative late yesterday. The response is that the verbiage used in all the permits, including the two sentences you mentioned, was established when special events were first started, and all permits have the same same conditions. Altering the verbiage would indicate that we are treating permits differently, which would be unfair. This could bring all permits ever issued into question, which the city attorney's office is not willing to do. A good course of action now would be to continue having your attorney direct any questions to Ms. Hopenstand, as her duty is more aligned with interpreting the law. I understand this may not be the response you were hoping for, but this information is what I can provide for you. LAPD will take action only if they perceive a safety concern. Each officer and LAPD branch has the authority to use discretion of whether that safety boundary has been breached. Vacating the street may be a good option, but since this is an engineering process, they may place some conditions on vacation of the street. As mentioned all above, all permits, including the Academy Awards, have the same verbiage. Regards, Timo. So we lost Audit again. Welcome back.
thank you. Sorry, I'm getting the harassment, even though I have I don't know how it's happening, but even though I have it on silent, on do not disturb, I'm getting all of a sudden these weird calls, for loans and this and that. So it keeps bumping me. It bumped me off. This is like the second time that's happened. So
Yeah.
I'm sorry about that. And I don't know how, I kind of know how to go back in through the back door. So I'm going to probably next time have to do it from a different thing where they don't have my phone number, because all of a sudden those weird crank calls are starting to happen while we're streaming.
Exactly. And right when we're reading Jennifer's emails here with
so anyway, now I can't hear you. So this is proof positive that Jennifer, can you guys hear me? This is proof that Jennifer knows. Jennifer absolutely knows the facts. She knows the truth. She knows what is, they're like basically, even though you want everything to go your way and just for you, how you want it, like we should bend the knee and like everyone else has to live by the rules, but you, they're basically saying, no, it's not going to work like that.
Mm.
And I'm glad that they are standing up to them. So that's what I'm saying. I have respect. It seems like Timo and Adena are not afraid to stand up to her.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, wait, now
And
I'm not
is
hearing you.
this,
Great.
you are not hearing me? Can anyone else hear me? One minute.
Okay. Can you hear me? I can't hear you, Miriam.
Can you hear me now? I hope you can hear me. Okay, I can see some nodding here. Okay.
Hear what I had to
Audit.
say? I don't know if you heard that or not. Yeah, they're calling and, it's ridiculous. And I have it on Do Not Disturb, so I don't even know how it's bypassing that. But, so anyway, I don't know if you heard that. So sorry, you know what? Oh, so you're not going to win. We're going to get this info out. Um,
Exactly.
because they
Exactly.
and it's funny that we're talking about this, that all of a sudden I'm getting all these calls because
Mm-hmm.
this is the crux of the matter. This is the
Mm-hmm.
stuff. If LAPD ever got really understood all this information in the rules, their shutting down the sidewalk will be over with. And that's what we need to do. With the police commission, but or privately, you could, we also gave the email address for the police commission. I believe I gave
Mm-hmm.
it for the chief and just end the OIG and just say, these are the rules. I did send them this. And this is, and I even handed it in person, thanks to lovely people who hooked me up with a printer. I have, I was able to print it out and turn it in with my testimony on Tuesday, my public comment. This is where it ends for them as far as that. That part will, if it's enforced, we could almost, no, I still go to the events to make sure they do everything. But that would be the hugest thing if we get the
Mm.
LAPD educated on this. And
Yeah.
so stop calling me, Osa. It's not going to work. It's like
Yeah.
we're pursuing this, and that's that.
Yeah, I'm just a little bit curious because this mentions the actual street vacation. Was this the email that actually where you discovered that they were potentially trying to get a permanent street vacation?
It was one of them, but I also had somebody who was within I'm not going to say who it was because I don't know if I don't think she,
Mm.
that reached out to me from the engineering department
Yeah.
and helped educate me on what the R permit is. I didn't even know about the
Mm.
R, but just gave me a lot of education. And she was telling me about the street vacation, what it is, and right that
Mm.
so that was one of them, but also because then I know that there was other talks of that too, and they did hire Bill Delvec because
Mm.
there's other you see other emails where she's applying once they're saying, well, get the street vacation, and she's like,
Mm.
they were trying, but what happened was, and this is why these meetings are important, because even
Mm.
it was at the neighborhood council meeting
Mm.
that Carla Martinez, who is the rep for Hugo Soto Martinez. No, is it? It's Carla. I'm not sure on her last name. I might get that wrong. But
Mm.
she said publicly, because we were bringing it up, that they have this lawyer now. They want the street vacation. And she publicly said, Hugo will not support a street vacation. And after that, Bill Delbeck was no longer there. There was no more talk. And I keep checking on it whether or not there's any talk of it. So far,
Mm-hmm.
I've never heard of any talk of it since because I think Hugo did. I'll give him credit for that. He shot that
Mm.
down at as just a neighborhood council meeting. And
Yeah.
they got word of that because they watch everything, as you can tell, because the way they, try to harass. Um,
Yeah. Yeah, and I
yeah.
assumed that it would never be possible that they could work it so long in the background that it could go as far as it did in Clearwater before. we would discover something going on.
Well, it happened in Clearwater because no one was paying attention. I mean, it's not to be mean, but no one was. Like here, I pay attention closely to what goes on, and I continuously ask. Because I track it. It's something that you
Yeah.
have to track, but if you have to find it worthy of. Because I know it's not glamorous, right? It's not.
Mm.
It may not even be exciting, but it's important. It's important work to know what they're doing in your community. And
Yes.
all of this stuff is public. It's not private information. So even just to every 6 months check on anything that they're doing, that's what I do. I do a CPRA. Is there any applications for a street vacation? Anything like that. And that way, because when you wait to the end and you find out at the end, it's too late at that point. You
Yeah,
need to stop it
exactly.
right prior to where they are even, and that's what we did. We stopped it before they even applied for it. They just hired an
Exactly.
attorney to do it.
Exactly. And, if we would get even a sniff of it, we would change our advocating towards for example, the huge medical complex on the street. They would definitely have a lot to say against the street vacation of L1 Way over there, as well as the
Absolutely.
people who still live on L1 Way as well. So
Well, there's
don't even
actually
try
three
it also.
hospitals. Right. There's three major hospitals. Okay. There's
Yeah.
Kaiser, there's Presbyterian, and there's Children's. And there's a metro stop that was not there back when they got the R permit. I don't think it was there at the R permit time. And it wasn't there when they got their name changed and all that stuff. So things are different now. There's so much more need for parkings that, so I was so glad to hear, that basically Hugo's people came out and said, no,
Yeah.
we're not going to approve that.
Yeah, I just want to put I saw Anne's comment here. Clearwater is not doing the same kind of work as LA. Audit has the whole county dialed in.
Well, most of the things, yeah, that's so sweet. I'm trying to work on the county now because today,
Yeah.
I was doing with the civilian overboard because we need to focus on the sheriffs more. The sheriffs are not up to date. So I need to put
Yeah.
that in my mind. And we are trying to work now more with the county. I want to do the supervisors. So it is. We've been so, dealing with the city that we do need to work higher and with the county and then the state. But yeah, and I'm not doing any I'm not trying to trash, Clearwater or anything like that. But it's just, I've heard so many times with different people that, down, that's included down there that, oh, the meetings are useless, they're a waste of time, but it's not, because look how much, it takes a lot of time, it takes a lot of energy, and it's not glamorous. It's not something necessarily that's going to get you, all these followers and viewers and stuff. But if like my goal is not clicks and views, my goal is to stop Scientology, its tentacles from the stranglehold in the city, and that's all and to help victims of the Scientology. That's all I care about. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Whether I have 10 people or 10 million people, it's like the more it's better because more people are learning. But I'm not going to do anything that geared towards just making it about, entertaining or interesting. I
Yeah.
want to
I can
informative.
see Coldwater Vicky saying that we have no idea, and also saying that the Florida or in Clearwater it works a bit differently. This is,
Could be true.
and
I,
that
I,
could
I mean,
absolutely be true. The only thing I would say, and I don't want to criticize anything regarding Clearwater, but we only just discussed about it a week ago about the amount of hours you put into this work. So in Clearwater, it would definitely help to have someone like Mark Bunker in the city
yes,
council, because
absolutely.
that would stop the backyard deals immediately, because he would make a big sound of it. And right now it seems to be that there's a lot of corruption over there. So please, Vicky, do not take this as a personal criticism towards you.
No, it's not a criticism towards you at all. It's just that the focus has been different down there in the protesting. And I have had some of your, group, publicly state that the meetings are worthless, whatever. So it's not a knock on Clearwater and what you do. Okay, any protest is good, but maybe don't, like it's just sad to down what anyone else is doing too, as long as it's working towards dealing with this cult. But what
Yeah.
my point was, it's not saying that you guys aren't doing a good job. It's just that you're doing a
Mm,
different job. You
mm,
have not, I don't believe, and if I am willing to be stand corrected. I don't
mm,
believe you've kept the pulse on what is going on with the meetings and like the Department of Engineering and all that
mm,
stuff. I could be wrong, and I hope I am, really, because to me, it seems like you were almost blindsided by it, happening, instead of getting it at the beginning. And it's not a judgment call. Why can't we all look back and say, okay, for the next time, what can we do to prevent that from happening? Because maybe they're going to want to do another street vacation, right? So
exactly.
it's not like there's times I maybe had wrong calls, and I'm open to criticism too and how I do things,
Mm,
but my point is that you need to go with these people. They're so sneaky that you have to
mm,
keep a pulse on what they do. You have to be checking. I check all the time, what are they doing
mm,
behind the scenes? And then I found out about the film. I didn't like see there. I'll criticize myself. I didn't have my
yeah.
pulse on the Film LA stuff. I didn't know they were getting Film LA. I found out randomly from a CPRA. So I'm there,
Yeah.
and it's been going on for years. So I'll self criticize. I did not have
Yeah.
my finger on the pulse of that, but now
Yeah.
I do. Okay.
Yeah.
And so it's a matter of learning from each other. It's no insult, Vicky. I appreciate what you guys do down there.
Yeah, and she's also saying they did not advertise the initial vacation requested last year.
But
And I think that's where it goes wrong, is because this kind of thing, Scientology is doing things in the background all the time. I would
yes,
assume in Clearwater, it's even tenfold to what's going on in LA, which means that you need to have people doing the boring work of doing the research, getting the communication between the city officials and Scientology, as well as trying to build communication and relationship with city officials. Because unfortunately, not all these the things often they become public at the time when certain decisions have been already perhaps made in the background. So
yes. Oh, sorry. Go ahead. I want to jump in
yeah,
and
so it's
add to
kind
your
of
comment.
like you're all the time playing catch up with them.
Right. But we'll put it this way. By the time they announce it, it's already been through several processes that have been approved. Okay. It
Mm,
already went. I don't know the exact process there. Here it starts with the Department of Engineering. So by the time
mm,
it's announced at City Council, it already got approved through
mm,
engineering and then public works. Right. So what I'm saying, and this is not criticism to you guys,
mm,
okay, at all. It's just what
mm,
I've learned by doing it. Okay, is
mm,
that if you keep a pulse on the lower parts before it's announced,
mm,
and I like I said, I'm more than happy. I've always offered like to try to help out with Clearwater too. I'm
mm,
willing to do research to find out what the process is and where does it start. Does
mm.
it start with engineering? Where does it start? But there's always, and it's not secret. This stuff's all public information. But
Yeah.
you may have to do CPRA requests maybe every 3 months with
Mm,
every department for any kind of activity, emails, anything from
mm,
Scientology, and focus on, like I said, we could figure out where it starts when it comes to vacations. And you
mm.
have to start back then. This is not criticism. This is the stuff that we've learned as we're going and we're sharing.
Yeah.
And, that's it.
Yeah. So absolutely. And if there is a good amount of people willing to work on it in Clearwater, for sure, you can get results on that as well. And I think the Save the Garden project has been a great example of something that was maybe caught on a little bit too late, but now they are really fighting back. And yeah, it's FOIA request in Florida, but it's
Yeah. I mean, I don't know all
equivalent
the
of a
details.
CPRA
Yeah,
request.
sorry. I'm just saying, used to saying CPRA, but we all know what we're talking about. Public
Yes.
records request, if we want to say, and I'm
Mm,
willing to help anything I can up here. Like, I'm willing to write emails. It seems like the two factions, I mean, not, I call them, I don't mean to even say factions, but it seems like I'm willing to help and work and like do emails or
mm,
whatever, like for cold
mm,
water. Okay. Because that, that it needs to be done, and I'm willing to help any way I
absolutely.
can, but it seems like
Yeah.
sometimes there's been so much hostility that it makes it hard to do, but I want to,
Yeah.
and I'm willing to, and it's not saying, oh, we know better. No, it's none of that. It's like I don't come I am not coming here with the ego driven. Oh, we know what we're doing. No, we're learning as we go, and we figured it out for here. You guys need to figure it out for there. We're willing to help based on
Yeah.
what we understand of the system.
Yeah,
That's it.
absolutely. Absolutely. Because we are not here to create any kind of division. We want to
Mm-mm.
work together and, as equals, collaborate with everyone. I think that's the way we have been doing it from the start, and that's the way we are going to be doing it going forward.
Yes,
So
we should support each
absolutely.
other in the good works that we're doing, right? Like, in the
Absolutely.
good works that support each other.
Yes, yes. Okay, let's move on. I hope that cleared the Vicky. And if you have any questions, you're more than welcome to, email us, and we can get in touch in that way. I'm sure Audit is maybe better at giving ideas how to approach certain things, but if you have any concerns, you are always welcome to email me as well. My email is scientologyupnorth@gmail.com, and Audits is audit.in.la@gmail.com. And
Anytime.
yeah, you
Let's
check
work
them
together.
definitely. Yes. Okay, so this is going to be going to the next topic. So I will just remove this one from the screen momentarily, because I promised that every single episode we will do a creator appreciation segment between our topics. And this week, let me just see that I can share
Drum
my
roll,
screen
please.
here. We want to highlight. Let's just see. Is it working? Come
Oh,
on.
no, there it is.
Is it coming up? Technical difficulties.
Thanks, StreamYard.
Yes, I am working on it. So it should be coming up now. Is it coming up? Oh, dear.
It looks like it's that revolving thing that I was getting.
Yeah, I don't know.
Hey.
So there we
I
are.
love the antics of a mama squirrel. Love
Me
her.
too. Me too.
She's
And
amazing.
Antics has been having a little break here. But she's back, and she is doing very important work. She's covering our calls to the meeting. She's, almost, I would say, every meeting she is hosting a live and highlighting all the public comments we are doing in the different meetings. On top of that, she also has very entertaining knitting lives as well, which are just, relaxed chit chat about things that is happening in the world, and Scientology, of course, as a topic sometimes as well. But definitely check her channel out. Subscribe to Antics of a Mama Squirrel. Make sure your notifications are on, because apparently mine weren't. I thought they were. And support her. And if you just, want to follow with like-minded people what's happening in the meetings, who is giving comments, if you think about calling, maybe you can get the link over there. You get a lot of supporting audience as well. So I definitely recommend you to check her channel out. Do you have something to add?
Yeah, I love Antics of a Mama Squirrel. She cares about the whole community. She is the one who would like to be, knowing her, she's like going to be like, feeling like shy about it, because she's the one that wants to amplify everybody else. She's the one who will lift up everyone else, that, and all the people doing the hard work, and she's doing the hard work. And I love her about that. She has such a generous spirit and heart, and I love our Mama Squirrel.
Absolutely. And I don't know why I was trying to sound so professional. I consider her a friend as well. And yes,
I do
she
too.
is extremely sweet, kind-hearted person. And she definitely supports more supporters than 597. So please go ahead and subscribe to her channel.
Yes.
And that is actually very handy, because the meetings, you get some image as well from the meeting, for example, the Board of Public Works, when their own live stream is just showing the city emblem basically for the whole time.
Yeah, it gets
So,
boring.
yeah,
So she hosts
exactly.
that. Yep. Yep.
Yes,
Love your antics of a mama squirrel.
absolutely. Absolutely. So, I'm thinking maybe we can take a little bit of comments here before we go to the next
Sure.
next one. I can see Ice to See is over here. Hello.
Oh. Another one we love that calls into the meetings as well. Always thinking of the children.
Absolutely. And also making a lot of like these shorter videos on very specific topics. And that's very useful information also. If for example, a person leaving Scientology or person considering leaving Scientology looks up something, there's a lot of useful videos over there.
Yes. And did it during some very challenging times in her life. So to me, that's a hero. You know, not all heroes wear capes, but that's amazing that she still gave so much in spite of going. So give her support too. We need to support each other.
Absolutely, absolutely. And since we're only highlighting, one channel, we'll need to keep on highlighting different channels, and I'm sure everyone's turn will eventually come as well. So today it's Antics, because the second one is Scooter's Anti-Cult Report, saying hello, and
love Scooter too.
Yes. And she's doing almost weekly updates where she's promoting the smaller channels. And that's also really important. And it's getting the recognition as a small channel. It's important because you feel like you're being noticed,
But and it gets it out more. When you grow those small channels, you're getting people who are working hard, and what they're doing out there to more eyes and ears. And it's just spreading the message. And
exactly.
so,
Exactly.
Thank you, sir.
Exactly. And it increases the motivation to be feeling that, you're being acknowledged online. It's a great feeling.
So thank you for doing it.
Yeah, thank you. And Donna's here, always.
Donna's awesome. Always, yes.
She has
Donna.
We love Donna. She has like on Saturday mornings alarm on at 5:30 to watch my stream.
Wow. I know. I always have to catch replay crew because I'm like, I'm out cold. I don't even go near my alarm. But I know she's always in chat encouraging. So thank you too, Donna.
Yeah. And Ice to See has a message for Nora here that I just want you to know that you are loved and you're absolutely amazing. I can echo that sentiment as well.
Yep.
Yes. Style Audit in the house. Also one of our protester
Love
friends
her too.
in Chicago. Absolutely. And I think as a movement, a lot of small channels will increase the visibility versus having one big one. So it's important to have everyone in this movement. I don't think we can afford to lose anyone.
Nope. I mean, not anyone that's doing the work. And I love Style Audit over there. She's funny and and I love her, Miss Cabbage, out there in Chicago. So I appreciate you too.
Absolutely. And Style Audit is also saying supporting each other will win in the end. And I absolutely believe that as well. Haggis has had a loose wallet and she's gifted 10 memberships. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Yes.
Got a lot. I love Haggis too. And her website. Haggis, put up the website, please.
Yeah.
Put up the website link.
Yeah, that almost requires its own segment on our show, I think.
It does, but yes, I agree.
Yeah, maybe we can do interviews also at one point.
Maybe. I would like that. I think it's a great idea.
Yeah. And Lupita also, one of our warriors here, asking, how often are they able to receive street closures?
It's a good question. It's the permits. You mean the permits? Well, they've been getting many less. They used to get, it would be like month after month after month. Now I think this year they only had maybe 3 or 4. So it's getting less. So the resistance is working. So, and there's no set number. See, now if it's on their property, the building and safety permits, I think the max is 10 a year. Sadly, which is something that needs to be maybe addressed, is that there needs to be a cap for StreetsLA permits. But as of now, there isn't one. But they have further restrictions where they can only do it on weekends as to not create a de facto street vacation.
Yes. Yes.
Thank you for the
Haggis.
question.
Yes, absolutely. We welcome any questions. There we go. I hope that my audio is working fine. Can you hear me well? And there's no.
Yes.
Okay, I don't know why everything else seems to work very slow right now. Haggis is saying, I noticed a little shift in the reaction on the LAPD OIG board when Lara was talking about the man restraint.
Yeah, she played the video, like she played the audio of that. And one of the people that come regularly asked, they wanted to see it. So people in the audience are getting interested in this. And the OIG is listening more. They, like they give more responses and stuff. So I feel that they're listening, but their oversight is the chief. Okay. And to make sure that, like the complaints against officers go right. So the OIG has a limited scope. I don't know how much they can do for us, but they can make sure that any complaints against officers or any of this stuff does get through properly. But
but extremely powerful message nevertheless. And I had the feeling that playing the audio would cause a reaction because I could feel it in my bones. I can still hear it in my head, unfortunately.
I know, same.
Irish Mart also.
Yeah.
She was a bit cheaper. She only donated 5 memberships.
I can't even see the comments, so I hope I have mods in my. I don't even know how to do that from here. So hopefully my mods
I'm teasing
not
her.
letting crazy people.
Please don't misunderstand me. Irish Mart is always
This
saying
is
that
them.
I'm the most tied arse person in the world.
But they're not.
To Irish Mart.
All 3 of them, they help me get where I can print and bring stuff. So I love you guys, and they're so funny. It's just I love you
we
guys.
have a lot of banter, so it's fun. Thank you so much, Iris. You really don't need to do that. It's like my moderators are helping me in the back, and they are also giving memberships. So I feel
so
like
sweet.
I
That's how you're supporting the small channels, right? But if any of you guys and my mods can make sure that, because I can't even see my chat, so I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, Kathy is wishing me happy birthday. Thank you very much.
Yeah, we were gonna save it for the end, Kathy. But I love Kathy's always. She's always saying, I love her messages. I'm at work, but I'm listening. So I love that.
Yeah, I will probably make another channel next year and start a GoFundMe for Botox, like a full body Botox. Okay, and Haggis, she also gifted LA memberships.
I love you. Thank you. Help me get to the meetings. I appreciate it.
Yeah, and Irish also.
Thank you, Irish. Aww. And the accents. See, that's what I'm addicted to, is like all their accents.
Yeah.
So that's why I love it when they call.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, now
Irish.
we need to start to speed up with the comments. We already been on for an hour and a half.
Sorry. I can talk. I'm a gabber.
And thank you, Kathy. Thank you so much for donating memberships.
Oh, Kathy. That's so sweet.
Yeah. And Irish Mart has been member of AuditLA for 19 months.
Oh,
so,
Irish. Love you. Thank you.
Yes. Peter has a comment here. The Bureau of Street Services one-stop shop is dysfunctional. Yes.
Yep. Okay. I'm going to put a quick plug, and maybe we could deal with this next week, is that it's time for the civilian grand jury. And I'm already working on my complaints, but this is one of the areas with the dysfunction between the different things, and that we can put in for to ask for the city to, like, they can't determine stuff about Scientology, but to get the city more functionable with this stuff. So that's maybe next week we could talk about that
Yes,
if Miss Miriam will
absolutely.
permit us to. We'll see.
Of course, we run this together. You provide the data, and then I'll try and take care of the rest.
Just all the work.
Paralyzed to Paralyzed, thank you so much for
Hey,
showing up
Paralyzed.
here. Yes.
Yes, always happy to see you.
Yeah.
I love that name.
Lara in the house.
Hi.
Hello.
Yay.
Thank you so much for popping by.
Yeah, we were on the sheriff one, and they let her sneak in
Yeah.
an off-topic comment, which was great. Yep.
Yeah. Peter is also saying that LAFD will start accepting public comment via remote due to SB 707.
They already do that, though.
Yeah, that's what I
already
was
do.
thinking. Wasn't it the city council that was supposed to start to do that also?
Well, it's all of them, so that is going to affect the fire. But because LAPD already does do Zoom, they're not required to do everybody, so it still may be the same two people. But right now, city council is doing it, but they're not for the committees, which it needs to, and then the fire commission needs to. So there may be, other commissions, but LAPD is already doing it.
Yeah. And Casillas is saying here that audit has put probably thousands of hours to get to this point. Hopefully others can do it in other places. Yes, I think Apostate Alex, for example, is a good example of focusing on specific things, and yeah,
he's doing great work too.
Yeah, absolutely. He's been in the parliament speaking as well, and he's also joined forces with other cult survivors in order to get certain laws pushed through in the country. And
that's amazing. That's what we need to do too, is get certain laws that would stop a lot of this stuff.
Yes.
And that's what, as we're learning this, and that's what we can focus on, how to do that too.
Yeah. So collaboration is absolutely the key. Kathy, what are you doing? Donating memberships again. Thank you so
Kathy.
much.
That's so sweet. Yes.
Thank you. And Eyes to See, thank you so much for the happy birthday wishes. Thank you very much.
They get the cat out of the bag, but it's okay.
Yeah, and Anne, come on.
Oh, Anne, so sweet.
Much. Thank you.
This is the birthday girl.
Yeah, and I even got a birthday present.
Oh, Anne. Thank you, Anne. That's so sweet. Yes, now birthday.
Thank you.
Birthday girl.
Thank you. And Scooter Mom is saying, no, I'm the most sidars.
Good. Spoiled. The birthday girl deserves to be spoiled.
And yes, member for 10 months.
That's awesome.
AuditLA. That's
great. Thank you. Okay. Oh, wow. That's amazing. Thank you,
we're
Scooter
up
Mom.
to date, I think, with the start comments. And then I might have missed now something going on here in the background, but let's talk about how do I
Elli Perkins. Yeah, I just wrote a Substack on it. Like I posted a Substack, and I found it interesting. I was actually doing other research on different, which I'm still working on, because I have something I want to deal with the different Scientology true crime victims, and then but it's not ready yet. But then I came across this story, and so I'm like, I start digging into this, and I think it's really relevant. Do you want me to just give like the fact story? So Elli and her husband.
First, sorry, I'm sorry to interrupt you. Just first, before we move on to it, I don't know what's going on over here. I think my moderators can share the link. I had it open before, but because I had to restart my computer, now I have lost a link. I wanted to actually advertise your Substack.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, it's a sad story, but it's very. Yeah, I can wait. Just tell me. You
can talk, and I will find the. Okay. I will find the.
So Elli and her husband Don Perkins, they were very devout public Scientologists, not Sea Org. And she was like an artist, and they got very involved in Scientology, and their kids all raised in Scientology. And this is really about her son, Jeremy, who in his 20s started having mental health issues. And we know how that has fared doesn't fare well with Scientology. And he got arrested because he was having some kind of episode at a university. He was arrested. He was diagnosed with schizophrenia. And so, but his mom said they wanted him to get treatment, and the mom begged them to let her, he didn't have a history of any violence or anything. So, they, I guess the court did agree to her handling it and taking over his care of his treatment. Well, in Scientology, there's no real mental health help. There's no psychiatrist, there's no getting medications. And sadly, schizophrenia is something that responds actually usually, from what I understand, very well to medicine, but that's taboo. And so this is a story about how increasingly it was getting worse and worse. And this mother who loved her son dearly, she was, in all intents and purposes, a good, loving mother. But she was believing, she was taught and brainwashed that psychiatry is the enemy. The very thing that her son needed was the enemy. The very help that would help give him his life back, his mind back. Maybe not a cure, but to be able to function was the enemy. And so she went through all these different things. And I touch a little bit about, said this one doctor who's a Scientologist was basically putting him on a vitamin. He probably did pure. I don't have proof that the Purif was part of it, but I imagine so because they were advertising that stuff. But I'm trying to stick to what I know. And so that, so he was on these, so she was calling hundreds of people for help. And then eventually she got this one doctor who, not a doctor, he was not even a doctor, not a Scientologist, but said that he successfully treated this kind of situation through like meditation or whatever. And so he was going to move. They were moving him to that guy's place for him to work with him, because at this point there had been a little bit of physical altercations between him and his mother. His mother was desperate. And prior to this, though, they did send him out to LA to join Sea Org for a while, thinking that that would help. And Sea Org did him as a public, as a trouble source. And they realized, and they kicked him out and said, no, that he can't be a part of it. And so the suggestions were all like, so she was, while they're, I guess, going to get him to move, that was causing instability for him, because this is what he knew. This was his home. And he was just mentally ill. Like there was times where he thought he was Jesus and all these different delusions. And this is not his fault. It was, he had schizophrenia that was not being treated. And so so that morning when she was packing his bags, or getting ready, there was like a little bit of a physical altercation. The father came, I guess, sorted it out and left. Well, lo and behold, and which is very sad, this young man took a knife, because he really believed in his mind, and he was saying this, that his mom, all these vitamins that this guy had him on, he thought his mom was trying to poison him. And said that her face would turn really evil. So in his mind, he was terrified of her and was terrified of what was going to happen now that she's, moving him. So, I don't believe it came from any kind of ill. In his mind, it seemed like he was scared and felt that he was under attack. So he took a knife and stabbed his mother 77 times and killed her, obviously, and now
I understood that because normally they take, if someone has some kind of illness, you go to a chiropractor. They took him to an osteopathic physician for
who's a
treatment.
Scientologist.
Yes, who is a Scientologist. And their clinic was apparently using Scientology purification process as well.
I don't have proof that he did the Purif, but there is evidence that he was on all these vitamins that you would take for Purif. So it makes sense. This is that they lived in New York and he lived, and the doctor was in Pennsylvania. So I don't know whether or not he did the actual Purif. I'm not sure. But regardless, he was given this treatment that is not the treatment for schizophrenia. And so this woman who was so scared of psychiatry, so she didn't give her son the proper treatment. And I'm not blaming her. She was brainwashed, whatever. But so he killed her. He was arrested. He felt his mom was going to harm him, that she was poisoning him. And he ended up not being found guilty by reason of mental defect. Okay. He did not
Yes.
know what he was doing. And
Mm.
they put him on proper treatment, and he kind of came to his own mind, and he was doing well on treatment, and said he's
Mm.
convinced it never would have happened had he been on treatment. Like, he was able to see the difference now on treatment, like, and you know that that it wouldn't have happened. It did not come from a vicious standpoint. He was in a delusion. And you know, and Scientology kind of came, they wanted to keep a distance because the family is very involved, you know. And but I'm just like, for me, and then I have like a little, you know, it's sad because this is their stand on mental health, right? And how many people, and she just represents the dangers really to any Scientology family that sticks to
Yes.
these beliefs, in spite of doctor after doctor telling you, 8 doctors confirmed that he had schizophrenia and that he needed this
Yes.
treatment. And so
Yes.
that's where I truly fault Scientology, that they are a co-conspirator in a sense, or a co-reason for why this woman is dead. Because,
Yes.
you know, and part responsible, in my opinion. They may not be
Yes.
legally responsible, but in my opinion, morally responsible. And so I thought it was just an interesting story, and that could happen today, right? Because it's still their
Yes.
stance.
Yeah, because I see saying something similar happened in Australia. Also, there was this actor in Los Angeles who killed their landlord as well because they were having some kind of uh, delusions due to a mental illness. What do you know anything about the aftermath of this incident? How was there any kind of anything changed or any kind of reaction from Scientology in the state of New York?
They just tried to, well, shortly after they opened up their Buffalo org, and you know, like, nothing happened. I know they try to distance themselves from this story. And what is surprised, what the most shocking part to me, it's kind of like the Moxon effect, maybe that's what I'll call it, is that even though this happened, it didn't wake up the husband and the daughter and the son-in-law. Like, they're all, as far as I know, devout Scientologists. So I don't know how they wrap their brain around that. I don't know how they wouldn't say, hey, maybe there's something we need to change here or
Mm,
something. It's just like, they just, okay, that's, you know, so I don't know how they did that, but so that's the thing. But it's okay. We have people on the outside who are looking at this stuff and saying, no, it is. And I think we need to deal with this issue more. That's why I kind of wanted to put it out there, because I think we need to kind of talk about, and Laura brings it up a lot. You know, we all do actually,
mm,
about, you know, and to some level, that we're
mm,
not, they don't care. They don't believe in psychiatry. They don't believe in
mm.
meds. Well, here's an actual woman. You can see her, you know, that
Yeah.
woman right there is not here today because she was terrified. She really believed that psychiatry is the devil, and that psychiatric medicine, the things that would have saved her son's life, right? Because now his
Mm.
life's destroyed, and it would have saved her life, likely, not 100%, but like more likely than not, right? Would
Yes.
have had a different outcome had
Yes.
this not been the case. And so, and Scientology also tried to say, oh, well, he did see psychiatrists, nothing worked, and he was given meds. But it's, you know, I don't know if I didn't really go to that, talk too much about that. He was sent to she didn't go to a psychiatrist. He was forced to see a psychiatrist because he was arrested in
Mm.
in some kind of psychotic break. And they diagnosed him, and they put him, she denied the meds. She said, no, we don't want the meds. We're going to handle our way. But she did accept, I guess, sleeping pills. But sleeping pills does not treat schizophrenia.
Mm.
So they're saying that he went on psych meds, but he didn't go on the correct psych meds. And we don't even know that she gave him the sleeping pills. We don't know that. And
Yeah. And I
so
have,
it's,
yeah, and I just wanted to say I also have a personal experience of also of someone who has schizophrenia, and it's truly, like, I mean, it's obvious in this case, but it's truly a matter of life and death if that person is taking the medication, because schizophrenia is actually a treatable condition very often, and you're able to function in fully in a work life, live independently and so forth. But leaving it untreated can result to a complete chaos, and in this case, a horrible tragedy. I just want to, show your Substack here. So you have written several articles, and something I didn't notice until today is that you actually can subscribe to your Substack, so you get the emails every time, email notification when AuditLA makes a new post. So please do a subscription. I think there's also a way to support financially as well if you wish, but you can also do it free of charge. And yeah, I can see there's been a little bit of a break, but I think you're activating yourself again on Substack.
I don't do a lot of articles yet. I want to do more. It's just, it's so busy with everything that I want to devote more time to it. But yeah, that one just came. I'm like, let me work on that one. And like I said, I'm working on another one, but I hope to have it
Yeah.
more often because I enjoy like looking into something and then, being able to get that out there, and it doesn't have to always be current. But this is something that it's like a past story, but it really does affect the current because they have a whole museum about psychiatry, and CCHR is very active right now. They're very activated, and that's one of the
Yes.
things that I think we need to speak up more is like, okay, especially in this city right here, like we need more mental health help. We need more access to treatment, to meds. Like you see it and for drug help to get off drugs or, we don't need less. So it's their message is not what's needed here in LA when it comes to mental health
Absolutely.
help.
Absolutely. And especially in the severe cases of mental illness, Scientology doesn't even want to deal with any of these people. So it's like a double whammy if they actually manage to, promote their pseudoscience ideology and at the same time, discard people that actually need the help. It's really, yeah.
Yeah, I'm sorry. With this kid, this young man, their answer to what to do for what till they get him to that doctor was to work him harder so he'll sleep better and sleep more. That was their answer. So make it like Sea Org, right? Just work him around the clock. He'll be too tired to do anything. That's not how that's only likely. I would think. I'm not an expert. Making him more tired would probably just add to, and that's probably what was adding to the delusions and the confusion or whatever. But at the end of the article, and this there's going to be a little bit of tease, is that if you look at the very end of the article, if you don't want to read the whole thing, there's another really weird irony at the end. I don't know if I should say it or I want to say it.
I think everyone should go and check out your Substack and perhaps even share it, because I was not familiar with Elli Perkins, and unfortunately now I know her story as well. But it's important. I also have a story I want to share regarding someone who lost their life, indirectly because of or directly because of Scientology in Denmark. And a lot of these people, like Elli's son is in, it was probably in some kind of treatment center. Rest of her family is still in Scientology. I think it's important to keep these people's memory alive and make sure that, that we do everything we can to ensure that this will not happen again. Unfortunately, it probably will, but at least we can do our best to keep the names of these people, in people's minds.
Yes, and that's why preventing new members is very important, right? If they don't have the new members to indoctrinate and brainwash, that's the problem. People back then, it was more freer. Nobody was really looking. There was a lot of people just coming in, and it wasn't the heyday, I don't think, but yeah, but it's sad. But yeah, look for the irony at the end. It was like, wow, that was really a strange, ironic twist.
Yeah, and I can see in the chat there's talk about the psychiatry industry of death museum, because you have a one in like a brick and mortar one in LA, and then there's actually touring exhibition around the world in Australia, in UK. Has had a pop-up location in Denmark. It seems that they do it every year with this huge tent that is like, I don't know, 5,000 square feet minimum on a big square, where they are, giving these free tickets as they are at the info center. And
That's
yeah,
crazy. But I also
I'm
do point out, even in the article, that like psychiatry is not like perfect, and there's a lot of to be said. There's been abuses. There's all kind. I'm not saying there's no issues with psychiatry, but but the answer is like to find better treatment, to do it better. Not like no treatment is not the answer. We
absolutely.
so fine, like so we can push against. You can push against the psychiatric and all that too, like to do better. But what they do is absolutely no psychiatric, and there's just some illnesses that can't be helped with vitamins, and what I mean, it's just that's just reality, sadly. But it's reality, and sadly
Absolutely.
she found that out the hard way. Sadly.
Yeah, Style Audit is saying that your Substack article was excellent.
Oh,
So she's
thank you,
been there
Style.
already. And I
Thank you.
what I wanted to say about it was that, the history of any kind of medical treatment, is very troubling when you go decades and decades back. However, the mistakes and the errors made, back in that time, that probably, people did not fully understand the consequences of their actions. It does help on giving the right type of treatment today. So we cannot judge psychiatrists just based on, the past and history that has happened long time ago.
Right. Like we said, we push for better, to do better, to learn more. Yeah. But thank you
Absolutely.
for letting me present that. Yeah, it's sad, but like I said, I do plan on having another one, but I want to have. I'm still working on that one. There's another
Yeah.
because there's some interesting criminal cases within Scientology that aren't really talked about. So
Absolutely, absolutely. And we can, if there's something that is relevant to the podcast, which probably all of it is, we can bring it up. But next week you had some plans for something specific as well. So I just wanted to, I don't know. I think Kathy
oh, it's so sweet, Kathy.
is just feeling extra giving today. Thank you so much for the
It's your
gift of
birthday,
membership.
but can we bring on the other two
Yes,
months before the
yes.
end of the?
Yes. So there was a wish to bring on a couple of visiting guests, our lovely moderators here in the back, and I will just remove the picture here so it
Yes.
doesn't get too.
So I don't know who
Uh,
sings well and who doesn't. I sing horribly, or
I
horrible
don't
voice.
sing, I don't sing at all, so I'll just sit here and listen.
You can hum Irish. All right,
Yeah.
everybody join with us, and I don't care if I can do it like a frog, but Miss Miriam, Mirjam, whatever we want to call her, because we love her with all her names. It's her birthday, and she deserves to be celebrated because she's amazing. So, all right, on the count of three. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Miriam Muriel. Happy birthday to you and many more.
Thank you so
Love
much.
you. Happy
Thank
birthday,
you so
girl.
much. I think Iris's screen was frozen, and
I think she's just in shock. With like she. I warned you. I warned you, Irish. How bad it. But you know what? And thank you for doing this. And it being your birthday, you could say, "Hey, I want the day off. It's my day," and you didn't. That's not that you're a true fighter, girlfriend, and I love
no,
you for it. So thank you.
I'm so excited about this, and I'm already excited about next week. So this
Me
is
too.
I feel this is really good. And what is Peter saying? This is your birthday song. It isn't very long. Ah, okay.
Oh, I love it.
Oh, hi, Brian. Yes, we're still on. You need to
Yes, we
catch
are.
it on replay. Thank you so much for being here to celebrate
know.
my 42 years on this planet.
Such a youngin'.
Yeah. Your birthday is on, the 20th. Congratulations.
Well, happy birthday to you.
Yes, happy birthday. And thank you for, yes, absolutely. Thank you for singing at home.
Yes.
I
Yes. Thank you for all the
appreciate
songs at
all
home.
of you showing up and showing us support. We are gonna be doing another one in a week at the same time, and yeah, we have a lot of stuff to share with you guys. So just hanging tight, and we're gonna be back soon. Thank you
Yes,
so
and thank you,
much.
mods
Yeah,
and
thank you,
gifters
moderators.
and
Thank
gifter
you,
and
and
chat.
Iris and the chat, and all
Next week.
the
Yep,
yeah, all
go
the
for it.
gifted memberships and the super chats and Irish's assistance in the background over there. It's you've given emotional
Guys
support to
rock.
her to go through the past 2 hours.
Yeah, you guys are amazing. They're awesome. Next week,
Yeah.
though, Iris does a solo act. She sings.
Can we
She's
get
like,
like
uh-uh.
singing in the rain because she's Irish? So.
She's like, oh, no, I don't think so.
I'll have Beijing flu next week, I think.
It's like, well, and I love how you guys always bring humor and joy, because you know what, this is some heavy duty topics. It's easy to get wrapped up and get into a negative headspace and stuff. So I'm always going to encourage have joy, fun, love, and laughter. It's important. So
Yeah,
thank you
Yeah.
guys. You all make me laugh.
6th birthday, Miriam.
Thank you. Thank you. And everyone who just joined, please go all the way to the start. We have something important to say over there, and then we have a lot of important things to say for the following 2 hours. So you'll be entertained even though we're done now. And thank you for everyone being here. We'll see you next week, and I hope you're gonna have a great day.
You too.
Bye.
Happy birthday. Bye.
Bye.
From complaints to permits to results. Join Audit and Miriam every Thursday. This is Double Degraded.
Welcome to Double Degraded with AuditLA and Miriam. Double the truth, double the trouble. Welcome